brother Benjamin. That's how I stick to him. These diamond bees, all BBs, I call them Vivica. Skating underneath the bridge, stay hustling as it is. Make money, feed the kids, ain't nothing in the fridge. Wake up, repeat the sins. I need a 10, stay muddy to the lid. 800, eat a.
Yeah, alright, my flow sinister. Yeah. This ain't rap music, this straight literature. Small-minded, all your ideas miniature. Yeah. They tend to hate on you when they can't get rid of you. I ain't going nowhere, 20-year career minimum. Call Hit Boy for beats, ask for 10 of them. I don't follow trends, I swing the pendulum. If the bag good, I'm gonna give her some. Yeah, alright, my flow sinister. Yeah, alright, my flow sinister. Yeah, alright, my
This place first opened way back in 1957. We are inside legendary Lambeau Field here in Green Bay. Today we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the New York Jets and the Green Bay Packers. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's Wilson to throw right away. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Dean Lowry just creating a disaster there for the offense as that one goes 16 yards in the wrong direction.
It may be cliche, but it is something that holds up over time, doesn't it? If you're the visitors, you don't want to let the crowd in the game early.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did there. But you said also this defense, they're going to give them a lot of looks like we just saw there, aren't they?
They certainly are. They're a proud unit, and they're going to ride the momentum of this crowd with them, and that's why they get after them early. But when you go on the road, you're hoping to make plays that will take the crowd out of the game. I think it's a pretty good example right there.
Yeah, a break like that never hurts, especially in the first quarter. Maybe help to set the tone a little bit.
Could settle them down, get them into the game a little bit easier without that crowd really being against them.
The Jets on the move. Couple of big plays back-to-back. Well, on third down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there to pick up the first, Charles.
And you use the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. This defense for the Packers, they were very strong in the win last week over the Giants.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
Now it's 2nd and 9. Here's Wilson. He'll get this into the hands of Braxton Berrios. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
And let's see, the Packers defensively 6 DBs, so a dime look on third.
Could play coverage or bring pressure.
They'll run with Hall, and he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. first down right back to Hall. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Credit the defense there to Quay Walker getting behind the line of scrimmage before they could rip off any sort of a gain. A small bit of adversity here on what's been a strong drive as they come up 2nd and 12. Throwing is Wilson. Complete on the crosser to Hall. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 38-yard line. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first. Really a solid start here on the opening drive, Charles. He's now 4 of 4, and they're already in plus territory.
Brandon, he's been so precise to start this game, like we're watching an operation taking place right now. Master surgeon at work.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Throwing on 2nd down, Wilson. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. That is first incompletion after a 4-for-4 start.
Yeah, but they shouldn't back off from what they're doing. I like the play calling right out of the gate. I like the tone that they're setting. Keep going in that direction.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it. And the Packers are going to get the football here at their own 23. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ballgame.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Again, it's Jones. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down. The Packers at 3-2, a game over 500 here to start the season. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Now a first down carry by Jones. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed. But they
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to get them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. 31 yards on the punt there. And the Jets will take over. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Now, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Wilson. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
Now Wilson. That's complete. It's Elijah Moore. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 25 yards that time.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage because he lines up on the right and then runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
On first down, Wilson. They'll set up the screen for Hall. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Second down and 7. Now it's Wilson. There's Hall bringing in another one. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up the first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. To throw is Wilson. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Multiple players getting home there, and it's a loss of 2 on the sack. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
Zerline's kick is up and through. And the Jets hit the board first. It's 3-0. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Here's Jones again on second down. And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's see, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. From midfield, here's Rodgers. This is caught. It's Christian Watson. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 23 yards on the play.
Green Bay need to get Aaron Rodgers some help at receiver, and they did so by picking Christian Watson 34th overall. That's the earliest they've taken a receiver since 2002. Watson has some NFL bloodlines as well. His dad, Tim, was also drafted by the Packers, and you know his father's...
And it's a Packers touchdown. Robert Tonyan, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Packers have taken the lead.
For good reason, quarterbacks want to get the ball to the perimeter to their wide receivers for big plays. But in this situation, it felt like, based on coverage, he knew that he wanted his tight end to have the football, and for good reason.
On is Mason Crosby for the point after. And he clanks it off the right upright, and it's no good. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. Takes it at the 7. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And you figure, Charles, they have enough time here in the first half, more than a minute, to put a drive together, at least get them in position to try a field goal.
Yeah, they've got all 3 timeouts at their disposal, so I'm actually thinking bigger. With those 3 timeouts, that amount of time on the clock, I'm thinking about trying to get a touchdown and settle for a field goal.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Wilson. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. And his crew will take over with the football at the 35-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Meanwhile, Rodgers' throw taken in by Watkins here. Down inside the 10. Touchdown! Sammy Watkins, his first touchdown on the year. And the Packers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. This time, the extra point up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Takes it at the 7. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it down by 2 scores. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Now Wilson on second down. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Wilson and Moore there for a Jets first.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that, Purple?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield, and then he curls back inside for the completion.
They go play action with Wilson. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half. Well, Charles, they're so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air. And, of course,
touchdown, Packers! Aaron Rodgers, 3 first-half touchdown passes. And the Packers will extend their lead on a final play and a half. And just before the half ends, the prayer is answered. Defensively, a disaster there.
I know often we're surprised when this actually works. I mean, the excitement level goes way up, but maybe we shouldn't be, because I know as a defender, you've got to play the ball in this situation, but you can't interfere with the receiver because, remember, it's a spot foul, and it'd be first and goal if it happens in the end zone, and you don't want to give up that play. Now, a little bit of hesitancy often works really well for offensive guys.
Both these teams getting a chance to dry out, maybe change their cleats if need be, but halftime's just about over. Time to get back to it. And for the call of the second half, here's Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
and they went into the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half. And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They'll go again to Jones. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped.
Hey, 88.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. He finds Watson complete. Touchdown, Packers. 4 touchdown passes now for Aaron Rodgers. And the Packers are able to cash in for 6. The partner, he has carried them in this ball game throwing the football. All 4 touchdowns through the air, and that's really helped them get this nice lead.
And I know it's a team game, but right now, he is truly the focal point. Every touchdown his team has so far has been the result of his arm. How about him throwing it downfield, creating big plays? I don't know how you slow him down unless you can make him uncomfortable in the pocket.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Takes it at the 7. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Looking to throw on second down. Wilson. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And that will be incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the third quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
Twisting away. Well, on that punt, we've got a man shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. And he'll begin the drive with a give to Jones. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Tackle on that play by Quinnen Williams.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Rodgers now to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And here comes Berrios. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson, and his throw here's incomplete.
You know they wanted, you know they expected. They needed him to be sharp coming out after the half. Unfortunately, he's missed his first 3 throws. I wonder if he got out late and missed his warm-up time.
The whole team did come out a little bit later than usual. I don't know, maybe there's something to that.
Must have been a heck of a halftime speech.
Yeah, maybe just trying to rally the troops back from this deficit. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he was fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. Room here to run. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 74 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Lambeau Field, one of the best home field advantages in the NFL, no doubt. And they're a happy bunch here as the Packers lead 3rd quarter. And he's got room. Able to slither by. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Great gains back-to-back. Last time over 30 yards, better than 20 here.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Aaron Rodgers on fire, his 5th touchdown pass of the ball game. And the Packers have opened the lead up to 30. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Takes it at the 7. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
So now Wilson and the Jets with a 3rd and long here following the sack. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, obviously searching for their first touchdown this game, partner. And that quick 3 and out, that's not going to achieve that at all. Give victory to the secondary there. They brought out tight coverage on that 3rd down snap.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. Fielded at about the 28. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. The last time out, they had to march almost the full length of the field for their touchdown. So here, much easier, Charles, with this better starting field position.
I love your sarcasm, but I love even more your observation because, look, what they did last time out, now with a shorter field, they should have a lot of confidence that they're going to put more points up on the board.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now a handoff. Running left is Jones. And he'll get this up to about the 40. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Packers on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. An inside give to Jones. And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the first down. 108 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. 1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. Up the middle, Jones. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he's going to get this one down to the 45. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Sauce Gardner picks it off, and the Jets are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. Now they get a 4th quarter pick, a little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Another carry, same story. 4th quarter, and he is in red numbers right now with a running game.
Hard to believe because you figure at some point you break off a run. But in this case, what we're seeing is just pure domination by the defense. I think it started with the scouting report. They got into what they were doing offensively, into their mindset, and now they're beating them to the punch on every snap.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Here's Wilson to throw. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Jair Alexander. And the Packers are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. And with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down. It carries like that. That's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. A give to Jones. And he's going to get this down close to a first at about the Jets' 33. 135 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. So now on 4th down, Rodgers will give way to Mason Crosby for the field goal try. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out, and that is no good. He hit it well from distance, but he couldn't work it back in. But that's just a minor blip here in what's been a thoroughly dominating performance. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the 4th quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, you know, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the 3rd down stop. Wilson. And that is incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. Rodgers looking to throw. A throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. The give is to Jones. And he's taken down inside the 30. 13 yards, 1st down Packers.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yards.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. But not much defensive resistance on that drive. Really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. Well, they've got the huge lead now. They have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Down right around the 25. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is of all those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Packers, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they will hit the road next week to take on Washington. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel to Denver to take on the Broncos.
chain, birth most of chains in the game. No post office, we stamping time. Took a slice out of the big apple, made apple pies, family size. Leather bombers and Nike Sacai's. Dangerous corners, you better pray that tomorrow arrives. Rap, Sugar Ray Robinson, nothing sweet. Y'all too out of shape to even box with me. Heavyweight, I know my way around the ring. Just like Shorty know her way around the storm. Making hits with Hit Boy, all he gotta do is hit record. Record breaking news, had to show up just to fill a void. Confused boy, little boys, y'all better keep your poise. Leave me out of the reason. Be cool when you see me, I'm hot at all that rap deep. The hood know you, so we don't borrow, believe in it. Locked in on the instrumental, I took back the key to this. Run me the keys, run me the bees, run me that flow back. Your top three, I'm not number one, how could you post that? I would have crowned the city is mine, you cannot hold that. I'm not the one to go back. Meet Joe Black. Run me the keys, run me the bees, run me that flow back. What I'm saying, your top three, I'm not number one, how can you post that? I would have crowned the city is mine, you cannot hold that. I'm not the one to go back. Meet Joe Black. What I'm saying, people saying what's already been said. Predictions, I don't listen, it's already in my head, no funny. Your most hungry place, I was past that at 28. Underground tapes, as my ass cap in publishing states. As we slide in the G-Ride, I've been getting criticized, it's keeping me energized. Create with a business mind, I'm for where killers reside. A wild hood, only knew goons since my childhood. Say anything in they raps cause it sound good. Don't even mean what they Y'all ain't really about this house. Y'all was in the house with it. We don't respect fake jewelry and silly outfits. Window down, blowing out. Great tents, New York's J. Prince on Houston Street. I caught the bounce before my even bounced the beat. I took the hard way in it, man, it's the route for me. Run me the keys, run me the bees, run me that flow back. Your top 3, I'm not number 1, how could you post that? I would have crowned the city is mine, you cannot hold that. I'm not the one to go at. Meet Joe Black. Run me the keys, run me the bees, run me that flow back. Your top 3, I'm not number 1, how could you post that? I would have crowned the city is mine, you cannot hold that. I'm not the one to go at. Meet Joe Black, meet Joe Black.